Okay, so there's going to be the normal delay, but between what I type and what gets streamed, but PC health's poor. What the heck was that? Oh, that's my... Never mind that. Yeah. August 8th, 8:36 p.m. And we're going to start another live stream, or we have started another live stream, I should say. So yeah, I was going on the normal, this is going to be Barstow night, but one of the first things that I do, I actually, before I even get there, what this is all about, I think I've had something like this before, where there's a curiosity as far as Yardmasters and admins. And as I've been saying, and as I've been bringing it up, we're basically getting into a situation now where by the time AI comes around, in order to maintain, there's two things that we're going to need. Dispatchers. Well, we're going to need a lot of things, actually. We're going to need dispatchers, we're going to be yard crews. I don't think we have a shortage of people who want to be yard crews. But I mean, they're out there. Even if they're not around right now, I think they're out there. Dispatchers, I think there's going to be dispatchers. What we're really going to need is the Yardmasters. So, let's see here. What do we got? A little chatting in there, Roger. I had to go. Oh, Mike's going to watch TV. At least he's not working while watching TV like last time. So that's a good thing. So that's good. As long as the TV's working. Okay. So I took a look at Barstow. So what I normally do from an admin point of view, of course, that includes Yardmasters. Yardmasters would be doing the same thing. Whether or not they specialize in a certain area, I kind of specialize more in Barstow. However, I'm still aware of everything else that's going on as well. I started here tonight only because that's usually where Mike and I, or whoever wants it, will be. And if somebody else wants this at any time, by all means, I'm open to it. This is the nights. There's other nights available too. Yardmaster instructions, I don't even know if we've even updated this since the last, what was it, Sunday? I don't know. August 7th? Yeah. So we did hump a few trains. I'm not going to go through the counts right now because everything, and here's what I'm seeing. We humped a couple trains, and we are on August 9th right now. The only thing I see coming is the San Bernardino inbound. Now that doesn't mean that there's going to be stuff to do in Barstow, because I think there is. Because if I go here, oh yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to do in Barstow for sure. But let's see, we got six standbys coming up. One that came available at 11. Okay. Just see what's going on here. So, just say hello. I heard a lot of chatting going on. So there's a lot to do in Barstow, which is fine. I'm not too worried about that just yet. Somebody did mention boron, and that was, if we go back out here, this is where I'm looking at the time. We're almost at 12 now, which really boron would run into Cadiz at around this time, or be in a position to do so. But really, we haven't even needed the boron crew. What normally happens is at about 0900, no, sorry, even before that, way before that, oh, what time would it be? 0500 boron would start up, roughly. I'm just trying to think if that's the case or not. Yeah, about 0500. I believe the boron crew would start up. and I don't think it's been to boron. I don't think the first trick of boron's been run. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but let me just take a look here. Yeah, it's on standby. Okay, so that's definitely in need. So there's definitely going to be a focus in Barstow for sure tonight, but it's not going to be the humping type thing here. But you still, that might be my focus, but I still have to see what else is going on. So I'll look over Bakersfield, Maine, just to see how things are going. Everything looks fine from here. Crew change, train released. Fresno Bake will probably come through. If it's going to be midnight, if it's going to be noon at midnight tonight, that means that will be a little over 24 hours from now. This one will become available, so there'll be a build there that'll have to go out. And then the next day, back bar 3, which also runs on a Monday, will also be available. So that looks relative. That's coming. I'm just thinking, let's see here, crew on duty, blah blah blah. I haven't really looked at this. So let's see here, I just want to double check. Receiving 8. Okay. So just looking at this, I'm going to have to ignore the chat for a bit. It's crew on duty. Build and depart. Okay, I think that's the one. Oh no, it's Fresbake arrives. Hang on a second here. Oh, Fresbake arrives at 12:30. Okay. 1300. Okay, so I'm gonna let that. I'll assume everything's okay there. That looks okay. Job has arrived. Job has departed to begin again. So UP's coming up. That's another one, but it's not quite here yet. So at least it's not behind. So I'm not going to worry about that just yet. I believe SJVR 1 and 2. Job has departed. So we're okay there. I'm not worried about the times here. Mojave, Maine, that's something that I've got that has to be dealt with, and another sheet has to be created for Mojave, something simple, because it would have to be taken out of the main lines and into its own yard system. Every now and then I gotta go back into the chat just to make sure what's going on. Okay, so that's taken care of. They're working at the for the Bakersfield out at Edison, BNSF, I guess. Okay, so that's cool. So I was doing Mojave. We already know about Barstow, Maine. West Colton, I don't have a clue. I honestly don't. Let me see here. Why is it taking forever to load? Come on. Alright, what's going on? This thing all of a sudden, wow. Why did it go over there? There we go. So everything's been humped. I guess that's in hunky-dory condition, I guess. I don't know. Just trying to think here. If everything's okay there, I guess it is. I'm not sure. Looks alright. So, Cajon sub. QLAC Chi canceled at this at that time. We got a hold at Ilmon for WCBK. Oh, that's because Mojave, I take it, is full. Is Mojave that full? Well, there's nothing I can do about it, really, because the crew doesn't come on till 1600. But, at the same time, what are we doing here? Hang on. Let me just take a good look at Mojave. And some of these are new things that are going on. New growing pains, I guess. So, one thing logistics-wise, you'll start seeing, because we had a weekend, we had cars coming in and out, or cars coming in and not going out, I guess would be the case for Mojave. I assume we're out of room here. I'm not too sure what happened here. Turn on the tabs for a second. Oh yeah, it was somebody went in and cleaned it up. 'Cause there's no way it would have been that clean. Yeah, somebody decided. Oh yeah, somebody decided to work it on a weekend, just for the hell of it. Which, I mean, it's great that it's clean and all, but it's defeating the purpose. I don't even know where the switchers are. Okay, they're way back there. So now I'm not 100% sure of the order that's up there. And I know Namin did it because it's on the sheet, and I think Tony did it. But I'm not too sure what the issue was. I remember seeing something about it. Hold at Ilmon. Why is that being held? I can see it being held for a while, but by the time 1600 comes around, it ain't gonna matter. I don't know. I'll deal with that. That's a minor thing, because it really doesn't need to be held. It can go all the way. Oh, it's Bakersfield that must be filled then. Is that what that's all about? I'm looking at Ilmon. Duh. Never mind. I'll leave that alone. I assume it has something to do with Bakersfield having too much going on, which is possible. That makes a little bit more sense. I thought it was like Mojave. I was thinking it was going through and it was stopped, but I got confused with Ilmon there. Okay, so let's just keep on going here. Oh boy, oh boy. San Bernardino. There's no instructions. Last notes was August the 7th. But there has been tags, so we're getting close to 12 o'clock. Second Cargill's cleared the run. And then the first GM trick will be after that, so that's kind of in the lull period in between. And second Cargill is tagged Tony back on the 8th. So there's really nothing that can be done besides the holds are in place. I gotta get a track occupancy thing in here somehow, just to know what's in what tracks. I like the instructions on that, but I'm just... I just wish there was something in here, like maybe if I moved... maybe if I moved the times or something over here, like available time and all that, and then I could have some type of status here. That would probably make it a lot easier, just so I know, because otherwise I go to San Bernardino. I'm going to assume San Bernardino's well under control by the looks of it. Daggett released, Needles, some cancellations. That Bear Table train was canceled because we have too much cars as it was. I remember that one. Everything else is looking like it's okay. Cute Chai San Bernardino from 8:15. It's on standby. What? Hold on a second here. Where is that? If you ever want to do a search, just Control F and then wait a minute, hang on a second here. I did that wrong. Oh, I see. It went into standby. Somebody put it into standby, probably Tony, because there's no room. So it's at baseline. Now I understand. I thought that was, I was thinking it was a San Bernardino train going out. So yeah, a few other trains released. So there's definitely trains out there, so that's a good sign. But of course, the big thing is actually going to be Barstow. But it isn't going to be humping. Humping's the last thing we have to worry about tonight then. So I'm not even going to worry about those counts. Well, I guess I should. I know we got 60 minutes, but maybe we're going to have to do something with that. Okay. We do have 60 minutes available for the hump, 60 for the trim. Let's just take a look at Barstow and see what's going on, because I know one thing for certain, and this is, again, this is a Yardmaster admin type thing. When you start seeing something like this, you know there's issues. And I believe you'll see them in a minute when they pop up. There's the issue right there. So, well, it's not too, actually it doesn't look as bad as it was. So we got power sitting out here. Really, they should be in there. If there is no room, then they can come here at the last ditch effort. They basically, if they're overfilling any further, then they have to be taken out. So I'm thinking a light power move. Some of the switcher powers over there. Originally, I'm trying to think if there was, yeah. Normally right there is where we have the switching power. So we got mainline power. Normally that's a good place that we park 4 units for the switching, so it's right there, and then that's open. Is that you, Mike? That's cute. Who is that? Oh, okay. Oh, I see. He's coming in. Okay. Now I know who that is. Yeah, I figured the whole Bakersfield thing. I was wondering why the extra power. We gotta get this power out of here. Yeah, I saw it. No problem. And for now, there's nothing else we can do but put it in there. But once we take the yard going on here, we're gonna have to do something. All the foreign powers over here, which really doesn't matter. Normally UP, at least UP, usually would be sent back on West Colton. I think it's already gone. Yeah, okay, so it already got humped. Normally, yeah, I think that came up later on, but that would be sent out on West Colton. So we got power, so let's just see what we can do as far as getting trains out. I know Boron is in that mix too, but there's trains even from last cycle. Bar Temple. And I can't remember what happened with that one. It's out by the bowl. I think we didn't have a track available at the time or something like that, if I recall. Yeah. Alright. So north 1, 4, south 2. I am going to update these matrices first. Is there a comment in there? Yeah, okay. I can't tell where that is. Okay. Yeah, dang it, don't want that. What the hell? I gotta get out of this in the background here. Okay, I saw the comment there. I had to get out with the thing because I got too much going on. So, where the hell? How do I clear the notes? Okay. Usually I put a comment in there and then you can resolve it. Otherwise you have to go in and you have to play around with it. So north 1's gone. Dang, I'm gonna have to go back and forth in there. North 4, south 2. South 2. North 4. Okay, south 2 is already showing as empty on here at least. So Temple's definitely one we're gonna have to get. Okay, so 36 cars for Temple, 14 in the Bull. So with 60 minutes, I'm assuming there's going to be some room for trim, but so let's start with getting the counts updated, and then at least we got that out of the way. Oops, I'm going the wrong way here. So 101 should be... What the hell was I doing? I'm just trying to figure out why I got a green on 101. And I got another one down here. I'm going to have to do every one of these. Greens there makes sense. That one does, that one does, that one does. That one makes sense, but this doesn't make sense. The boron I've got should have been over here maybe. Maybe that's what I was trying to do. Oops, wrong color. Alright, let me close this off for a second, but I'll check it when I go over. Alright. So we're at 23 and 1, which is, I believe, what it said. So that's good. Let me darken some of these up too. So I'm going to darken up the ones that we're not dealing with or we don't need to deal with. Victorville has 120 cars. Oh my god. Oh man. Yeah, there's definitely a lot that needs to be done behind the scenes as far as restructuring some of the trains. It won't be so bad now that we're on a Monday, but we're going to definitely have to get a game plan in sometime. If it's not, it's got to be by not. If it's not next cycle, it's got to be by the following cycle. I don't know if we're going to have time to do it for the coming cycle, even with the longer amounts. Okay, for first humps out, I don't even know if I needed to. Well, I could have kept that in there, but all right. So this should match up with our colors up above, which they do. So 102, yeah, that was the one that was going to be tough. Let's see here. What we got for comments here? We got a bunch added to the bowl the other night. Cement cars. Yeah. Yeah, just updating counts before we begin. Give me about 10 minutes. Okay. It's just, guys, and there's a delay too between the chat. So what happens is the chat's live. After that, everything else after that will come in. So 102 was the overfill, which we're on right now. I know that was just mentioned. Oops, I got that one. Let me go down here. This side's a little bit easier. Relinquish that. 24, 34, 37, 38, 41. Okay, 36 must be the other one. I meant to. Let me undo that for a second. What I'm doing, did I say 41? 28. I'm just trying to get 28, 30, it should be 42. There's one missing. This is where the double check comes into play. The reason why I say there's one missing is according to this we did have 14 in there. That's got a 36 by bowl. I got a funny feeling one is missing. Or got mishumped or something happened. 36. Yeah, there's got to be another temple around. All right. So in that case, what we're doing now And I believe I was the last one humping, so, but I don't know if that would be me or if one of the counts got mixed up or something, but what I'm doing is I'm looking for a temple. Unless we got another issue going on, and I just started thinking about that. Oh, shoot. This thing is so confusing at times. No, I think I know what's going on. I think I know. I'm not positive on it, but I think I know. Because right around the time Mike got busy, just before that we were supposed to change the counts, and I don't think we ever did. And if that's the case, we got to do them now. So, and I don't remember putting this in a tutorial, so I got a funny feeling it wasn't done. Alright, I don't think I did. Alright, so what's happened is somewhere in between there might have been some counts that were updated, but they probably weren't being double checked or matched to see. But right away, once I started doing a double check, I realized the counts are off. At least one was. Now that the two things could be, and I know what it is. It's because the counts haven't been updated. So, but the other thing it could be was a mishump. The whole idea of going through, making sure that things add up, is to alert you if there is a mishump or if somebody spawned the wrong train. We know some people like to they don't spawn properly, or they spawn an old session or whatever. So this is one way of finding out, but then the logs will back you up for that as well. The logs will always tell you which session you're running, so that when you see the train, if it's on a different session, then you know. But I don't think that's the issue here. Let me go in to I'm just trying to find the okay, tags current. So what I did was I originally went into, go back into your Run 8 Train Simulator folder. Oh boy, this takes forever to load. Okay. That ain't it. Oh, I gotta go into the roots folder, that's why. I'm like, where is everything? Content, I gotta go with something else, recent places. It's in the roots, not the Run 8 Train Simulator. You want to go into the roots folder. There they are right there. So, I already uploaded this, but I'm going to do it again. So, Waybill 14 was ran on July, or generated on July 14th. So what you want to do is on current, you click on this arrow here, and sorry, you don't. I think it's File, Import. Now we already uploaded it, but I'm going to upload it again anyways. So you take that Waybill 14 file, you put it there. Okay. Now see the numbers here where it says 112211. Just keep that in mind. 112211. Replace the current sheet. You don't want to replace a spreadsheet, you just want to replace a current sheet. And then you go import. If you ever make a mistake, you can undo it. So remember that 112211. Go to import that. Now it's got to think. I'll close that off while it's thinking. There you see. That 1122 is changed already. It hasn't done thinking because it's still copying all the other formulas. So now it's a 212211. So it's already changed one of them. In some cases, it might have been the same data, but watch what happens now. So if I go into the Barstow matrix now, you can see the numbers. Well, you don't see them yet, but I'll show you where they've changed. I said that I was one off in here. There, so 23 and 4 is 27, right? 23 and 4 is 27. I think that's the right number now. I thought they were showing up as an even. Or, is that where I want to be? Temple? I'm getting confused now. What the hell? So 23 and 4 is 27 plus 14. 27 plus 14. Oh yeah, there we go. 27 plus 14. There's your right number. See how it was one off before? Now I'm right. Yeah, so everything's okay now. And there's your double check right there, because that right away, anytime that you update the counts, you have to double check. And that's why I always highlight them blue, so that I know when I'm going through 27 plus 14 is 41, which is the right value in there. Now what I'll do here, now we know it's by the bowl, so what we want to do there is put a build into I think we can get away with north 4 by the looks of it. Okay. So I put BL-N4. In that case, what that's all about is saying that it's in the bowl, the 41. The 36 isn't into the departure yard, but all those cars have to go into North 4, then a build can go for it. And I've got that set up now. We don't have the data other than, so when you do an actual build, You got H bar tempo 1, so we go ahead, go into the live form. I'm getting out of the form here just to give myself enough resources. North departure 1, and we're in the route, not the yard thingy. North departure yard 4, and submit. Okay. Bull lead 2. I think we have 60 minutes for trim. Hump will likely be idle. So yeah, so I put up the build. There's 60 minutes available for the trim just to get these guys started. And of course, once AI comes into play and everything's going at live time, the Yardmasters are going to have to be really quick on their feet with all of this. And this system will probably have to be even improved. It's pretty good right now. So now I can darken these. So 102 is okay. So that's done. 103 is the next one. Where are we here? 103 should have 24 cars. And they say should have. And there we have the 24 empties. So by doing that, then we're confirming everything. Now, of course, sometimes it's not always going to be that, because a trim will be done before both humps are done. That's why I kind of should have maybe kept the first and second hump in there just so I knew. But that's okay. 104s shouldn't have been touched. It's showing 2. I'm just going to take a look because I know there was some stuff done in between. There's your 2. Okay. 105 shouldn't have been touched. I'm not even going to bother looking at that one. 106 should have 5 more. Six should have 5 more. So what do we got here? 4, 5. So we're at 106. 106 is up to 11. Which it is. 6 plus 5 is 11. Alright, now I'm going to start looking at... shoot, I didn't want to do that. I'll undo that. Whatever format I did the wrong format. So the dark blue is basically what I use for a move, or to signify some kind of move is needed. I've got a lot going on still, but let me double check here. We got the one build at the bottom from the end of the last cycle. We have a departure, and then we have standbys. The reason, okay, these ones here that are yellow don't always run on the same day. The others are daily, and this is an issue on the Lovelock because it's running it doesn't run enough, and it runs at oddball times. So Bell runs daily, so that's okay. We can do it's a 6 a.m. build. So there it is. It's on standby. See, it was already due for Bell. It's already overdue. So we'll, even though it's not in order, I'm going to put the builds as I see them. I don't like it when it does another sheet at the same time. Okay. So M barbell 1. I gotta go back to Barstow tab here. I'd rather work from this tab when I can see it. So M barbell 1 is in North 2. Did I say 1? Can't remember. There, that's where you find it in the formula. M barbell 1, not 3. Status build. And I already forgot. North departure yard 2, Barstow Yermo. North departure yard 2. Okay, so that will put a build in there. But we're still figuring out what's in. Now I saw 107. That looked like it was indeed one car beside it there. Oops, I'm looking the wrong way again. Yeah, there's the 107. 108's got 2. So 107 is fine with 1, and 108 right beside it has 2. So I can darken those. And we're getting close to midnight. There will be a build for this train coming soon, and it won't require those 2 cars, but let me just see the chat here. So Mike's grabbing the trim, and that'll start him off. The hump really doesn't have anything. I mean, and this again, normally the trim would be the Yardmaster, but at the same time, the humps really. I mean, if there's only 2 of us, I know there's 3 right now, willing bodies, but to be able to have it with a Yardmaster on duty, figuring everything out. The Yardmaster also, it deals with tags and all that other stuff as well, but that's something that we're not probably going to be at right away, but we will be shortly if I have time tonight. 9:24, I still have plenty of time. Let me just see what's going on here. Okay, they're just talking about Bakersfield. So 107, 108, 109 should have 10 cars in it now. It has 22. Am I in the right track? Oh, okay, there's the 10. I was in the wrong track. .22 is in 110. Well, at least I know that. So that's 10 there. Take that out. And then D22 is in the Lovelock track. .111 wasn't touched. 112 should have 26. Oops, I'm not in. I'm on 111. 112 does have 26. So this is a good fail-safe. And I mean, the fail-safes basically include when one car is off. Now, generally, the way the randoming works, a lot of times it will pick the same numbers, as much as I try to mix it up as best I can. But there's always a little bit of a variation, which is good. You want it kind of similar, but potentially variant. It's not 100% perfectly random, put it that way. Okay, so 114 is now where we're left with what's remaining. Did I do 106? Oh, I did 106 over on this side, which I've already dealt with, I think. Six, I believe I dealt with. Oh, I see. I put it on the other side because it was kind of in between. And there's two of them because there's two bell trains, so I'll get that out of there. So I know I got boron. I'll deal with that in a minute. Well, let's just see here. Let's see what's in 114. See if I can get a count and then get a good idea of what's in it. I know stuff was taken out of it too, so this is where it gets complicated because there's all kinds of different things. So I got 38. 11 got moved. Yeah, see, this is where it gets moved into local yard, and then it never gets really added in too much, so it's hard to say. And it gets moved over to potentially old yard, all kinds of things. So it's hard to keep track of what's in it, but let me just see if I can figure that out. 2638. Let's see if I can figure it out on one of these last humps. 38. Okay, that's them right there. So it's all of these. This got moved somewhere. I don't know where the 5 is on that. But since I don't know, I'm just going to delete it. Likewise, I don't know the question mark, nor do I know the West Colton, where that went to. All I know is that they're in there now, because I've already figured out what the numbers are. So 12... I know that's right. I know we have 13 Cadiz. Is right. And I know we have 13 of something else, because the counts match up at that point. So, okay, so we've got the counts for both bowl, departure. Departure should be fine. I normally don't go in and bother with double checking the departure numbers so much, because they're not, how would you say, they're not really, as long as it's, depends if it got moved. But in this case, I don't think anything was triggered to pull other than 114, if I recall. So I'm just going to go ahead and put us up at August 9th for these two. local yard I didn't touch anymore. So now I want to deal with... Listen to this bar... Okay, that's just a comment that I've never removed. So Barlack 1's the next one. I like how it goes back in and does another window. And Barlack 3. Self-departure yard, and then 4. So that puts that one in play. Boron I'm keeping on standby for now because we have to deal with the tagging process. So I'm not worried about that. Same with US Borax 1. US Borax 1 is going to stay on standby until Boron gets going, so we're significantly behind on that one. Or both of them, to be quite honest. 5 a.m. Yeah. That's another one that just came up. I'm not too worried about that just yet. It's empty grain cars. Let's see where they're at, first of all. If I can figure out where they're at, then we'll get rid of them. So Mike's, he's got everything. So far we're set, I think we're fine as far as the other mainline trains go. So now what I'll do is I'm going to go over into Old Yard and see what's happening there. First I'll take a quick look here. That looks like mainly... Yeah, we're okay there. I know there was some boron stuff. Normally what would happen, when the hump's not busy, he could come down here and start sorting. I don't see it happening tonight just because we do... Like, it's 9:34. I can't see myself getting this all figured out in the next half an hour. So this is where more Yardmasters being available can really help. It's not all about switching. Sometimes it's about doing this. But the thing with being a Yardmaster is you want to be able to know what's going on at all times, basically. You got to get used to certain things. So we got grain loads for San Bernardino. There are, I believe, okay, those are boron hoppers. There should be some empties around, I would think. Though I haven't seen it. That's boron hoppers. I thought we had some. Well, that's kind of interesting. Rio X. Barstow. I don't see any empty stuff that came from San Bernardino, which is interesting because they should be around somewhere. Unless they're sitting in here somewhere, which hopefully they're not. The only other place I can think of is the receiving yard. So we did have an empty train come in. I don't know when the last one came from San Bernardino. There it is, right there. And the tags don't change any on that. Okay, so there's our build right there. They have all Barstow tags, which is normal. So that's receiving track 1. 1586 tons, I can probably tell you right now, is going to... And just because it's in the receiving yard, he can depart from the receiving yard. It's not a problem. Oops, I'm receiving telemetry from the EOT. What the heck? That's the other thing, guys. If you take a train and you had an EOT on it, you got to remove the EOT, because it's saying I have an EOT on this train. There it is, right there. Yeah, once you remove the power, you got to get rid of the EOT. So I'm going to remove that. I mean, I suppose I could have kept it on, considering it's going to be an empty train going out, but... Is there any others in here? I just want to make sure. Got Victorville's. There shouldn't be. Yeah, just Victorville's. It's tempting to get rid of some of these. Yeah, we'll figure it out eventually. I mean, if there's no place for the empties, then they eventually have to go up in the storage someplace. And we may eventually have to get into that until we can figure out what we're doing with the empties and then cycling them out. We got some up in Mojave too, so... Okay, so 1,586, I'm pretty sure this isn't going to be an issue. 1,586. I'm going over to Run 8 Depot site to use their calculator. Let's see if there's any new news. Not much. I don't see anything. Okay. So, engine calculator. I already forgot the amount on. Memory's horrible. Ah, shoot. 1,586. And we want a minimum of 1.5. Yeah, I figured it would just be an engine. I'll leave that window open just in case I want to do any more with that, but X-Bar BWW1. Here I'll insert a comment. And the reason why is because there's nothing in the matrix for that particular one, so I gotta put it here. Whoops. There we go. So requires one ES44 can depart from R1. That might change because we might actually get a whole ton of engines run light out of there. It's either that or we do a light power move, which I'd prefer to add a whole whack of engines. Of course, somebody will probably end up, you know, powering them all, but it doesn't really matter anyways. That's actually one of the better trains to do it, because it's a light train as it is anyways, so it's going to run speed. Okay. So we're looking pretty good now. The only thing we got is boron now that's in standby. So that's good. So from here, this is where it gets a little interesting. And the reason why I say it gets a little interesting is because of how things end up working. Here's oh my goodness. August 2nd. Yeah, I got a bad feeling that the tags haven't even been updated. Tags generated July 25th. Okay, then we're okay. So they are in. That's good. He's got trick 1. The problem is what got tagged out. Okay, I gotta check boron just to see what's going on out that way. The problem with the boron tags is because it wasn't a daily run, the requirements for the next day are off. But they have been tagged. They look fine, actually. Which is interesting. I'm surprised that they actually matched. That's actually surprising. I expected it to be off a little bit just because what would have happened was it would have been those cars would have went out last on a Friday, on an early Friday cycle morning, and so that's already been tagged. Now, in this case, let me just go take a look and see what's going on. Oops, I'm over at the wrong side here. Let me just take a look and see what's going on inside the plant. Oh, I saw a car down there. Okay. So we got a good full load coming up. We got a few tagged for 6, which is fine. That's good because we have plenty available. Now, the only thing is, I'm just trying to think as far as how this works again. It's been a little while. Okay, so he's got the temple into north departure 4. And I think he said he had the tonnage, so that's okay. This part's okay because that's what's going out. So what'll happen is the boron local will come in with a fresh supply of cars. And what we normally would do, and I got to think about this for a second, how we normally do this. This is a case where we actually do go in and take a car count, just to see what we have. Where we do that is over in this area right here. So this is good. I'm not too sure if it's been done or not. I see the tag Victorville, July 29th. I just want to make sure that we do have the proper number of cars in. So we got 11 box cars. Okay, so that says 5. Hang on a second here. Okay, I'm gonna do a full count for now, even though it's been tagged. Normally, this would have been done before 5 a.m. before even these tags got a chance to go, and I may go ahead and cancel these tags at least for now, because what's going to happen is I think they're going to get buried. If I remember, I'm trying to remember this in my head, because what happens is the boron local will come in and he does North American, which we were just over there, which seems to have the right amount of cars. He then takes these cars and then he brings in a supply. Within the supply is cars that are used for the next 3 tricks. But he's already got one of them set. If he's got enough to do it, I might release it. I might just go ahead and release it. And he may have enough in here just for extra storage. So let's just see here. I think he does. The problem is he can't do it. Or yes, he can. What am I talking about here? This is confusing because it's way past that point. I'm just wanting to make sure. I'm trying to remember which trick of boron actually goes in and plays around with the cars, and I believe it's the 3rd trick. So the third trick brings in all the empties that's coming in for the next setting. So let me just get the total count here. We'll deal with that in a minute. So let's say we got 11 box cars. Acid, we've got 12 empties for acid. In hoppers, we have 18. Okay. So we definitely have, I'm just looking here, What was that first? So, okay, that was North American trick that was loaded. So, okay, I see this was tagged, which is good, because what normally happens, and this is what's interesting, was I did tag North American by the looks of it, or at least somebody highlighted this green. I'm not too sure if I did that. Usually I would do that, or somebody else would do that. I see the instructions down here. What we've been doing is we've been actually going in. I noticed the notes and instructions, and that's great. But who did it doesn't really matter, because I see the 653. That's okay. So what I want to make sure is that we have enough acid cars, which ironically enough we do. Which is really scary. Like that is just so bizarre. Okay, so the boxcars is where we're going to have a surplus. Boxcars we have a surplus. We actually have the right amount of acid cars. Okay. And then for here, we need 23 hoppers. So there we're going to have a deficit. And that'll actually have to come in from the fence, basically on the next one. So I'm going to look at these. I'm going to look at these formulas here for a second. I'm not going to cover this up. Oh, there's your deficit right there. I think. Oh my God, what is this? Sum of tags. Oh, that's a North American required. Okay. So now I gotta take a look at this. Required plus next. So that looks into the tags. Plus it adds E17, 21, 24. Which is right there. Minus what's in D6. Okay. So I'm just trying to figure out the calculation here, and this is stuff where if it gets too complicated or whatever, don't worry about it. This is me trying to think it out, because we had the weekend. What we want to do is ideally we want to make sure we have enough cars that come on the boron local. So this is why we're trying to figure out how many cars we actually need. So it's calling up what's required for the next session of tags, plus what's in the next, minus D6, which would be minus what we already have. So what it's calling for is how many cars are required plus what's next. So this right here is actually what you need, both here and here is what you need out of coming out of boron. So the tags are okay. What we normally would do in the case of this is you can go ahead and delete that. Okay. Now the boron local is late, which is okay, because the boron local doesn't affect. So if the boron local is late, it's not a big deal because they're just dealing with the fence. So in this case, what you want to do is submit another response. Do we still have that as a train? I don't know if we still have that as a train, or do we? I don't think we do. Don't think we do, or at least we shouldn't be, but maybe we do. Oh no, I still have it up on there. Oh yeah, okay. Well, because it's also the Cadiz train. I was thinking of it as a yard crew, but technically it's a train. So all right. So boron, I can't build it yet because I don't even know what I need it for. So forget I did that. I'll just leave that there for now. Oh yeah, U.S. borax. That's what I wanted to do. So that's a Monday to Friday. I can go ahead and release that. Because it's ready to go. And another thing, folks, I'm going to tell you this right now. Whether or not you're into the yards, and I mean, I don't even know how many people are watching this, to be quite honest. And, you know, it's up to you guys if you want to learn. It takes a lot of time. For me to go in and edit things, it just takes a lot of time to go through all this, basically. So, those that are wanting to learn or paying attention right now, or who will follow up later on when it gets posted to YouTube. And I'm trying not to put too many of them. I don't want to overkill. So, US Borax is released. If you want to run a switching job, first of all, there are people who, as soon as they see it released, they're going to want it. And, I mean, it is what it is. If you guys don't go out there and say, when it becomes available, I'd like to run it, like in the availability, you have an availability form. If you're interested in running Barstow Yard, for example, if you want to run the hump, if you want to run the trim, if you want to run something in Bakersfield, post in the availability so that others are aware that you're interested in it. Otherwise, when things go released, especially when we're at a 46 or whatever the hell days it is cycle right now, these are very highly demand positions that will be scooped very quickly by people who basically have a lot of time on their hands, and you know who I'm talking about. Okay, I'm not trying to hide it. You know who you are, and it's okay because you're not. Basically, you're not doing anything that's against procedure. My thing is that it goes both ways, because if somebody's going to take the position when it becomes released, by all means they can do it, because that's what the whole purpose of releasing something is. My thing of this is I know there's a lot of people who want to do things. The only problem is they're not saying. They're not saying what they want to do. They see the schedule, or they see what's coming up, and they just wait for it to be released. And if you're working like me, a 9-to-5 job, and you come home at night and you come on just to see what's available, and you just, you know, if it's there, great. Chances are there's going to be people, like there's some people who are retired, there's some people who might be on summer vacation, who have a lot of extra time. They're going to take it. So for now, that's just the way it is. Oh, I got chat going on here. Yeah, no problem. Oh shoot, I'm showing emails. Yeah, I gotta not show that on here. Okay. Not a problem. So that was what, okay, he was just talking, that was Tony there. I guess he's watching me. Yeah, a lot of people watching me, that's cool. Cool, yeah. Okay, I gotta keep that closed because you're showing everybody's email. I didn't realize it did it, but I guess what happens is when a comment or a chat message comes on here, it'll pop up.
Okay, I'm getting out of here because you guys keep showing your emails. Well, it's okay. I mean, chances are nobody's going to see that anyways, unless it's people who are interested in this. I'm just afraid of people spamming and they see, wow, I'm stuffed up for some reason. I'm afraid that people see it and they see somebody that's spammed. Yeah, you know what I mean. Because they say, never put your email address out there. Thing is, how many people are actually spammers who are going to be watching a boring 2.5 hour long video on trains? Highly unlikely. So that's okay. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to get to this US Borax. Did I close that one off? Let me just see here. Oh, okay, I did. So that's cool. Route. US Borax released. Barstow, Yermo. It's not route, I guess. I don't know. I guess it is. I guess the Barstow. Yeah, because it starts out of the route, so whatever. No, it's not. What am I doing? Go back. Can I go back? I don't even know if I can go back. Yeah, leave. There we go. I got distracted. I went to... But anyways, yeah. So... I meant to do... US Borax released. So the route's not Barstow. It's actually Mojave, I think. Is it not Mojave? I haven't done this in so long. No, it is Barstow. It's not. What the hell? It's on the Barstow main board, so I thought it was in Mojave, but I guess it's in the Barstow, which I guess it's a switching district. I don't know. Okay, well, I'll just put it here and see what happens. Because that doesn't make sense. No. That doesn't make sense. What the hell? Leave. Man. It's pretty bad when I don't even know where my stuff is. Okay. So this is all the trains. So we want to go to US Borax 1. We want to release it. We know that part. I guess the route is Mojave. Oh, for crying out loud. Give me that. Oh, yeah. Okay, so, yeah, location I want is up at Boron. And then just track over here. I can type in Y for yard. There we go. So that should put US Borax back on the release. There we go. Okay, so I got the comment there for the requirements and where it is on the build arrival yard. It's okay to depart from there. So now we deal with the boron stuff. And once again, we'll get to the switching to here. Here's all your requirements, what's required. Now, you can add extras, that's not a problem. This is the only sheet that we use now, at least at this time, that we actually deal with actually getting a physical count. So what I will do, I haven't done anything with the whole yard. Victorville, give me a break. I'm just going to say, for this, US Borax count. Alright, how about Borax count? Borax counts. Did I even get the other one right? How about boron counts? Because I don't know if the other one was 8. I think it is. So that's tagged and that's ready to go. And it's okay to go ahead with the US Borax because it's only trick 3 that deals with swapping the cars anyways. So we're good there. Alright, here we go. So I think we have 8 cars still, amazingly. $17? See? I'm confused. Well, I guess that doesn't matter. That number doesn't matter because it doesn't. Or did it matter? Hang on a second here. I don't think it changes anything. No, that's the hopper for the fence. So that number doesn't matter. It's only these three numbers that matter, because what it's saying is we only need 8 North Americans, because next time it's only going to be called for 8, which is really crazy that there was 17 and there just happened to be 17 that time. I still can't figure out how it went from the Friday and it knew by the time the Monday came along everything was going to be fine. It's just weird. But so that's cool. So now we go back to Barstow and we deal with this. This is actually, we deal with all 4 of these. So we go back and we will go into. I'm gonna go down by Old Yard here, see what's in there. I know there's stuff or there was stuff in local, but that's not what I want. Whoa, I'm way too far. Oh, sorry, I didn't say goodnight. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to chat. Was anybody trying to chat with me here? No. Okay, cool. So I'll have to deal with Cadiz eventually. I thought I did a video on Cadiz last time. I'll have to double check on that. So what we need, let's deal with the simple ones first. We need 21 acid cars if we have them. Looks like we do. Well, not too sure, to be quite honest. The cars are around. Wow, this yard looks like fun. Do we have 21 acid cars? Okay, there's boron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. We got some extras here, which is what I had a funny feeling we were. And it's okay to send them. But at the same time, you don't want to overload the yard. We got some with Barstow on them, which is okay. Perhaps I should keep some tagged with. I don't know if it's easier to keep some tagged with Barstow or to just go ahead and set it up. Let's see. Let's go with the next one. I'm going to leave that one alone. We definitely have that many acid cars sitting in Old Yard. Boxcar empties. That's an easy one. So with that, you've got boxcars there. Got some down here, which are fine. With the Victorvilles, the San Bernardinos, West Coltons, all kinds of Cadiz stuff, and blah blah blah. Okay. So again, it's okay to send the extra acids, because what's happening with them is anything that's coming in here as an acid, I believe they all go to boron anyways. So it's not like, well, I shouldn't say that. The Cadizes are loads, so that's not a worry. There's some places like Bakersfield that can probably use acids, and this is where the counts are kind of mixed up in between. We used to what we try to do is we used to try to get an idea of comparing others to see what they were like. Now, as you can see, we got lots of boxcars. So, in this case, we know boron only needs 5. We got a pro flame there, which we can get rid of that. Send that over. Hoppers that have Barstow on them, which is fine as long as... Oh, they're grain too. Dang it! I knew there was some more grain in here. That don't matter. We'll send it next time. I was looking earlier to try to find some, and I couldn't find it. I saw the loads, but I didn't see the empties over here. That's okay. No big deal. I'll just send what we got for that. So, they're always going to be... Holy crap, we got Bakersfield in here too? Already tagged? Oh, man. Well... Then we got Barstow tagged. I don't even know if I want to touch this one. If I want to put it into another one. These are all Barstows. See, they're kind of in a nice string of cars all by themselves, so I don't really want to touch them. So I'll go with the ones that we had over here to begin with, even though there are Bakersfields. Which I guess they can go to Bakersfield, why not? Probably more can too. Now I'll start taking these Barstows over here, and I'm going to copy boron, and then Control V to paste. Now normally I'd send extras, but who knows, we might be short some in Bakersfield. I don't know if we are or not, to be honest. So for now I'm just going to relinquish that and leave it alone. So there's a lot of work. Of course we got the hump job that's available, so they could potentially be doing something. There's stuff for Bakersfield. I'm not too sure if I tagged in Bake or somebody else did, or what have you. Perhaps there was just a bunch of extras at one point that we just tagged Bakersfield, but they never went. I don't think we have... Well, then again, maybe we have stuff that actually came out of local yard that just happens to do it. The Pro Flame, that gets switched over to here, over into La La Land there. Okay, so we're okay there. Now, this you want to make sure that at least 8 are going to North American, whereas 27 are going to the other. You want to make sure that the 8 for sure. If you have too many and not enough going into one, then you have to change the tags around. So it's asking for 8 and 27. Let's just see what we got. Start with this one over here. Rio X, that's okay for now, just to leave them as is, even though they all can't go. You can use them because they're empties, so you can technically use them. Holy cow, we got a lot of Pro Flame. I don't think Pro Flames have been getting switched in a long time. Okay, so we got Barstow boxcars there with all the other crap. Victorville, San Bernardino, Cadiz, Rio X. Okay, I'm not going to worry about those. What else we got here? Okay, so here's the start of our North Americans. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, this is where the North Americans end, right there. So what I want to do is, from here on, I'm taking that North American tag off, because I do see a string right past it. And we got a lot of hoppers. Then we got all these acid cars. I don't know how many hoppers we have just yet, but okay. Those are bar boron, so that's fine. So let me double check here to make sure. Everything else that's North American is going to be tagged out to boron afterwards. Okay, I was just reading something there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. You see what I'm doing? I'm getting rid of those 20. 21, 22, 23. So I got rid of all those North American in that string. We got a whole whack there. Holy crap, do we ever. Oh boy. So this was all the extra that came over. I'm not too sure what the capacity is now. That's Barstow hoppers over there. I'm just, okay. I gotta get rid of those North American tags. I could add more of the North American, but I would rather not. In fact, right now, because it's getting too much, I'm copying over a Barstow tag. Because I don't know what the capacity is, but I don't want to... We do have room. It's kind of cool the weekend kind of fills it up, but at the same time, if we're getting too much like cement hoppers, then it gets crazy. So what I'm doing is I'm changing the boron tags over here to Barstow. Couple things. One, I don't want to create too much excess switching if I don't have to. If we have some extra storage, that's okay. See, like these ones here, these are all Barstow. Some of them are regular hoppers, others are grain hoppers. So that's cool. So at this point now, what I can do is I can go back in now. The build gets interesting because we know we've set that. We've already gone through it, so I can go yellow here. I'm just putting minimums set in notes and instructions, and I'm keeping that just like what Tony did there. He had a note in there for us to see just to make sure everything was okay. What I'm doing is I'm keeping that open, because what I'll do is, again, I'm going to go submit another response. Close that off. I'll put this to build. What am I doing? Barstow root. Yes. So I'm putting old yard, and then I'm putting down Y for yard once again, if I have it. Oh crap, I don't. Actually, I'll keep it empty. I think I can do that. Yeah. I'll put a comment in here. Old yard, it stayed empty. Okay. Minimums are built out of the bar SD counts listed. So what I'm doing there is I'm just making it. The main thing was I got rid of the North American. I don't want to load that North American siding up with a bunch of crap. However, what I do want to see, there's a few things here. I'll show you. I'm going to go back over to, let me just read up what's going on. HPT requirements. What are we having here? Hang on a second. Oh, okay. I thought 3 HPT was the requirement. I was getting confused. Okay, so I'm going to go back over. I just want to make sure if there was something I could help with there. Blah 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 blah. Boron. Going back into boron a minute. I'm not going to North American. So here's the thing with what was happening there. One, I want to make sure that the minimums are in place. I'm in North American. Dang it. Didn't want to go there. So, a couple things. Before I head in there, if it really gets bad, there is a big, huge siding here. Yeah, it can be used by the boron local as well for bringing cars out and shoving more in. That's true. There's also, when we come over here, one there's still tracks available in for extra. There's this little string here. I forget the length of that, if it equals the fence or not. I think it does, or what's usually available. So usually this gets pulled out, it gets put into the other one, and it's fine. Now there is one whole track here that's usually available. One gets built up, so there is one that's in excess, and worst case scenario, it could be tied in with the other car types. So there is a lot of room. Really what we're trying to do is we're trying to make sure that the empties get used, so we fill it up, and then try not to overfill it if possible. But if it happens, I'd rather have some extra cars than not have them. especially in this case, because it's not like the issue we're having over at where there's way too many cement hoppers. That has to do with logistics. There's something going on there that we have to figure out. But so we're all set for that. It's 10:27. I'm not too sure. Well, I can give another half an hour here. Let me just see what Mike's up to right now. He's on the trim. So I see where he's at. What I'll do is I'll ride with Mike for a minute while I probably get one more snack for the night, I would imagine. I want to get that in there, and then I might see about moving some stuff around. Blah. We're getting some stuff set up anyways. There he is. So hopefully that won't knock me out for a few minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna go grab a snack. Of course, Mike's running this, so he's gonna be like delayed for 30 seconds. So as long as he's paying attention to what he's doing, but not watching the TV so much. But he's trying to learn this as well, so that's why he's paying attention to the live stream. Give me a few minutes, and then I'll take a look at some of the power requirements. Maybe show you some hostling, which is another technique that that anybody can do. You don't even have to be a Yardmaster. Anybody can do it once it builds up. So just give me a few minutes. I'm gonna get myself situated. I'll be right back. Getting myself the last snack of the night, and not gonna try to do too much tonight. So I'm not gonna bother building boron or anything like that, despite the fact that it's well behind. I'm sure there'll be plenty of interested people. I won't even post it to the forum. I'll let Mike do that. Whatever he wants to post, depending upon how far we get. But And forgive me, I'm going to be talking with a mouthful. Because I got to eat and try to explain what I'm doing, so. Lights are coming on. So what will happen is the hump crew who's on duty has nothing to do with Hosling moves. We have too much power. But in order to get rid of some of that power, what we want to do is get some of these engines out of here. I'm just taking a look at how many we got. I know we're full over there. Oh, somebody's on that one. Oh, okay, he's hustling some power right now off that. Yeah, no problem. Take a look while he's doing that. I'm going to take a look at what builds we've got going on. Yeah, I wonder why the number never showed up there. That's weird. I had North Departure Yard showed up, but I didn't see the number, which is a little strange. I'm not too sure why. It got something to do with a link of some sort, but I thought it was up there. Should be North 4. But, whoops. Okay. What I'm doing is seeing what builds are up there right now. I know that one's only the one. So what happens is when you're going to build a train, what you would do then is if you have a comment for that build and you're going to take care of it, you resolve it. You can just click right in there. Now, of course, only a Yardmaster can do it. You have to have share access to this. Otherwise, you'd post a forum post. So I'm looking at other trains too. I knew Old Yard there was supposed to be empty. Los Angeles he's taken care of. I think he's got 3 engines for that. And then that's going to be the switching power, and we have to clear that out. Okay, he's down there. How many engines we got here? Well, I'm going for broke, I think. So, as far as names for these, first of all, let me deal with this. Oh boy, I hate it when it does that. You click on it and it just craps out on you. Whatever. So, what I do with this one, I just call it Barstow Local, because it's the local that runs out of Barstow. It's not Cadiz, or it turns from Boron to Cadiz, but it's always the same power. So I know this gets changed once in a while. I just keep it Barstow Local. And I know some others, they like changing tags all the time. But, whoops, should turn the lights off on that. So I'll relinquish that for now. What we'll have to do is we'll have to get these engines out. Gotta get those engines back in. We got other ones over here, but I thought we had some other ones in there. Oh yeah, we got all kinds of crap in there. Okay, so well, since that's going to be going pretty soon anyways, where's the where is it? Man, did I gobble through those two snack bars already? I think I did too. I didn't think I did. Man, I devoured those. Yeah, I devoured them. Wow. I'm still a little hungry. Oh well, screw it. Morning comes quick. Or quick enough. So where's my... Okay, that's not a bad train at all. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. So when you're actually going for a build, you would go basically something like that. You don't have to put RTS, you don't have to put the number, you just, you know, whatever. As long as you got that part, you're fine. Now, because you'll come across other engines in here with old tags, which they should stay that way because there's a reason for it. You don't have to switch everything to none. We were going to use something so that we could keep track of what trains were coming in for what engines. It's better that way, but I usually like to keep it that way until we actually take stuff out. And you're noticing I'm taking a whole lot out here because we got way too many engines. Not to mention that this is a track that you want to have. You want to have this track clear pretty much, because then your switchers will go into here. So these will be the next engines I take out, but I won't take them out with this one. This one I'll short to him. Now I think one engine can pull all that, but I'm not sure. Okay, I see you coming down there. Sure. I've closed this off. Oh, you guys are sending me messages again. Alright. Yeah, you can send me a message in the chat. I can see it. It ends up going there anyways. Yeah, 15's fine. I'm gonna be done in 15 anyways. I'll be done before 11 o'clock for sure. Okay, so we got the Los Angeles train going by, or the Los Angeles engines.
So in this case, we only called for one engine, but because I'm a Yardmaster, admin, whatever, I know we need engines out of here, and this is something that a Yardmaster can make a call on. Usually it should be done with a qualified Yardmaster, like somebody who's got a lot of experience and knows basically how many engines Barstow needs at a given time. And I can tell you right now, we got plenty. Not to mention that we got to get this track. Once this track starts overfilling, you know there's a problem. Because there should only be enough power in the ready tracks. I think even San Bernardino has that issue. Guy back in the switch where I had him. And shift 1 to save a slot. So what I'm doing is, since this is an empty grain train, instead of running an empty power transfer and wasting a crew, I thought, as a Yardmaster, why not make it part of a train that really doesn't matter. It's going to run. It can run track speed. You can, if you want to, if somebody wants to fire up 3 engines, that's fine. But I mean, he's limited to track speed anyways. He doesn't need to fire that many engines up. So I got 1 engine on right now. Oh, I forgot to put the counter on. That doesn't matter. I'm just going to go back to that anyways. So what that does is that clears out Barstow. Same thing can be done for San Bernardino too. When you have the grain train that comes into Barstow, if you got too much power in San Bernardino, I know Tony was watching, he was talking about San Bernardino. If you ever find you have too much power in San Bernardino and that one track is getting overfilled, the best train to bring it on is the grain train. The empty grain train, just like this one's the empty, because once again, same principle. You've got, when you have a loaded train, what will happen is people will tend to want to go the speed limit, so they'll fire up as many engines as they need to go the speed limit, and that's really not the case prototypically. However, because it's an empty grain train anyways, you really only need 1 engine, and yeah, you can accelerate and decelerate, but it really doesn't matter if you're cheating so much because you're not going to use much horsepower. So that's why I figure these are the best trains if you're going to run a transfer, is to run them on the grain transfers. At least that's my theory. But because you put a bunch of extra power on a manifest, and you know people are going to use it. You can say, well, you can put in whatever notifications you want. People aren't going to listen. They're just going to auto start, auto run, boom, there they go. So they do it on this train, well, whatever. They're just gonna blow couplers apart anyways. So good luck at that. All right. I did throw the switch, right? Yes. Oops.
by the time I hook this one up, this is going to be the end of the night for me anyways, by the looks of it. I was hoping to get a few more engines out and a few other trains, but I knew I didn't have enough time to run boron. Let's see that. Is that a... Yeah, looked red for a second. So normally you'll get a specific instructions as far as how many engines it'll take, like for example 3 for Los Angeles or whatever. Yardmaster, they'll just go ahead and use the minimums, calculate what's needed for running depot, and away they go. You can see Tony's on there talking with Mike as far as plan ahead. So he's thinking ahead all the time too. He's looking at Bakersfield. They're actually a little bit more aware of what's happening in Bakersfield right now than I am, even San Bernardino for that matter. Tony's got San Bernardino set up. And I was looking at it tonight, like when I first came on and did that little sweep. I call it the sweep basically. I just go through, see what's happening. I'll focus on my specialization. We all seem to have, we don't have formal specializations, but we do. We have our favorites, I suppose. I don't get me wrong, I like running San Bernardino once in a while too and getting used to it. Or I haven't ran West Colton in ages. I haven't a lot of other ones are just new for everybody too, so I'm on the wrong side of the track. Yeah, it don't matter. And you can see the tags say Barstow. It doesn't matter. This is why once you're in, it could have said for all I care, though that could have stayed Cadiz. It would, or not Cadiz. That could have stayed San Bernardino. Once I see that they're empties, I know what they are, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to shift one here, save my slot there.
was getting worried. Thought I was out of space. Me too soon. Cool. Cool. No problem, guys. As soon as I get this guy coupled up, I'm done. Oh man, those brakes are good. I forgot how good they were. Alright. Man, those are good brakes. Okay, so we should be okay now. Hop on this. And of course, like I said, this train here was one that came due at 11 o'clock. I found a few more empties in Old Yard. I'm not worried about them. The priority now is to get those engines out of there. That way the locals and everything else have room to work in there. Because we got the local power. Dang, I got quit plopping the indie brake on there. And I don't want to, I really don't want to open up the air on this one yet either. Dang it. It's getting late. I was trying to pick something easy enough. Oh boy, this ain't gonna be good. Yeah, not too bad. Okay, I don't want to dump the air, or else I'm going to dump the air right off the thing. Oh, I got an EOT on this one still? I thought I got rid of it. Where's it getting an EOT from? There we go. I'll put it on that one then. Alright. Now the fun begins. Where's the air? Oh yeah. 25% of my train is these engines. $51.6 tons. I don't buy that. Okay, it says there's 90 at the rear. I don't buy that. I can't believe it says there's 90 at the rear. How can it? The rear of what? The angle cock is closed. right at the first engine here? I think I did. Oh, there, I see the... Whee! Well, it's open. I wonder what the flow is now. That was weird. It said 90 at the rear, and then all of a sudden now it went down, and it's Tony's honking at me, or he's waving at me. Let's see here. It sort of says the flow is okay. Rear. Oh, that's the flow. Closed off. Dang it. That's open. Looks like everything's open on it. That's in run. Have to isolate the other ones, but they seem to be going okay now. According to the chart, I have the air, so I thought I only opened one of them partially, though. Yeah, the flow's going down now, so that's good. Yeah, only have 2 powered. I think I have 2 powered. Maybe I only have 1. Actually, I think I only have 1. I got a funny feeling one of my angle cocks is only partially open though. I just don't understand why it said 90 at the rear unless it read the back of the engine instead of the EOT, which it shouldn't have, but... Yeah, let's see what we get here. Just past 11, time to almost call it. Yeah, it seems to really pump the air up quick back there, or it doesn't go through. Guess it's okay. The flow's going back down again. Something doesn't seem exactly right with this. I just want to double check this. Because I thought one of my angle cocks, I just don't trust it. Is it back of the engines? Somewhere around here. Yeah, see there it is right there. There's the partially open one right there. Okay, so let me shift 1. Go back to this in a second. No, my flow's at 29. I don't know what. I bet you I'm going to kill the engine as soon as I open it. I don't know the trick to this. Because if I go to fully open, it's going to kill it. Watch. Or it should. It's been partially open for a long time, but... well, supposedly it did it. Didn't go into emergency. Now the rear is going down. Okay. It was just those cars must have just been totally full of air, and then the line was never released. If your flow is below 100, I think you'll be good. Okay. Yeah, I don't know when the magic number is, when the actual air all of a sudden decides to just go kapooey. So let me just do a full service here. I thought these should start applying though, up here. Like they're going crazy. The rear's going. Oh, here they go. Here they go. Alright, we're good. We got flow. We got flow. Isn't that cool how that does it? That is just so cool. And it's good. It's really good, like for a brake test. Just to, like, I mean, I know it's not the proper brake test, but then your flow's at, you know, it's down at 64, so everything's cool. So, anyways, yeah. So, where did my EOT go? Hang on a second. I lost my EOT for a sec. Whoa, yeah. Whoa, hang on. Hang on. Why does it keep on taking my EOT? See, this train had an auto EOT, or the engines had an auto EOT or something, and I don't know where it is. But apparently I'm going to have to auto EOT it. Okay, so it's success. Then why isn't it on? That's why I was wondering why my air was changing. Is it going to stay on this time? Oh, give me a break. Oh man, where is it? Thought I saw it for a second. Ah, where the hell is the EOT? Yeah. I'd hate to relinquish this thing. Well, hang on. Problem is, when I relinquish it, then I acquire it, it's gonna say there's watch the EOT connection come up. There it is. Where is it? That's the one thing. You guys have to take the EOTs off of the. It's okay when it's an arriving train and you still got power, but if you're taking the power off, take the EOTs off because man, this is causing me. Did it go back to the very back? I don't think it's back there. It's not here. Oh, come on. See, man, I gotta find this whole train to find out where the EOT is. This is crazy. Oh, wait a minute. I just deactivated it from here. Okay. I think it's in the engine. Haha! It was in the engine. It was in the front of the engine. It was a DPU unit or some crazy thing. Okay, now I can see what the heck's going on here. So now, I couldn't figure out why the rear and the gauge was showing that it was full of air, and I'm thinking, how can it be full of air when I had it isolated? It didn't make any sense. Okay, the flow's 0. Let me just see what happens now. Rear slowly going down. Brake chamber's up. Flow's at 0. There we go. Full service one more time. Okay, we're good now. Now we're good. It's a nice little feature. I like the auto EOT. It's just now that it's auto, sometimes it does weird things, and I love it. I love it when it sits on the train. Okay, so I went a little longer than I wanted to. And the flow's working nicely now. I'll just leave it as is. That should be fine. I think I only got the one engine on, which is all I need. Some more if they need them. Relinquish that. And the cool thing about it is, you know, the EOT is there. Everything is set up. And sure enough, we got an EOT in the yard, and that's cool. Okay, so the only other thing you do with that... Oops, I better close that... Yeah, okay. So if you're in the middle of building something, you have the authority to release it. Anybody does. On any build, if they're adding the power, you can go ahead and you can release it. Whoa, who's that? People, I hear people. Oh, more power. Cool. So yeah, as I say, and I know there's some builds going on. So just so you know, normally a release is something done by an admin, but because build's in place, if you are the one who's building the train and you build it per specification, Once it's done, you have the authority to release it. It's authority that's been given to you by a Yardmaster based on the build status, because the build status is basically saying this is all we need. Go ahead and release it. So what I'll do here is I'm going to go back in xbar bww1, submit another response. I don't know why it opens another one. I don't think it used to do that, but xbar bww1, and then I can go to release. So if I was anybody who isn't even a Yardmaster access, just going through a build, you can go ahead and release. If you are working a yard, generally you should post to the yard forum, just to let other people know. Like if myself or another Yardmaster's around, that's not a big deal. I think Mike's gone for the evening. I think Tony's. I'm not too sure if Tony's still doing some stuff. Barstow Yermo route next, but I gotta go to bed in pretty much right now. I wanted to go to bed early tonight too. So that's, you just go put it to, where the heck am I? I'm in the arrival yard. So I already set it for a released. I'm on track 1 of the arrival. Submit. I'll close the depot off. I don't need that anymore tonight. And that will turn into released. So that takes care of another train. The Temple train is released in North Departure 2 now. So that's going to released. And I don't have an instructions field here, so what I'll do is I'll put a comment in here. It probably won't be used or noticed, but if we're lucky, contains dead in tow power. Train only requires 1 unit to operate. So I put that in there. If somebody wants to use a second engine, I don't care. It's just an empty grain train. But I put it there as a note. And that's all you do. You don't have to put the... Of course, you wouldn't have... unless you have Yardmaster access, you don't have the access to put those little notes in there. Can move all more... build... yeah, okay, so the build's up for boron. That stays because I never changed it, whatever. And then the other release. So we got a lot of release, and then we got a lot of builds going on, and once again, once you've done the builds, you can release them all. You're basically authorized to do that once you've built per specification. So that's about it for tonight. I'll just say have a good one, guys. Hey. Off to bed. So yeah, so dark here. I'm just finishing up my drink here, and I'm heading for bed. So yeah, from here on, then we got like, I think no, those aren't switcher powers. Those are ES44s, but yeah, eventually we'll get the last 3 units out of there, and then eventually there's power over here that can be moved over. Those units can go, whatever. I don't know about the engines in here. They've been being repaired for days. Okay, so off the server now, and yeah. So I'll do a post, or should I? Nah, I could. Well, nah, I'll let it go. You guys, if one of you guys want to post later on, that's fine. Mike will be on later on, or tomorrow at some point, I think. Anyways, before he heads out. So, if not, I'll be around tomorrow if nothing's moving or whatever. But I'm sure people will start seeing the builds of the release status coming up. So Yeah, that's about it. So, again, you have any comments, questions, you can post to me on the forum or into the YouTube. You can thumbs up, thumbs down, share, like, don't like, complain, whatever. Don't care. We'll talk to you later.